Take the High Road, renamed to High Road from 1994 to 2003, was a British soap opera produced by Scottish Television, set in the fictional village of Glendarroch. Exteriors were filmed in the real-life village of Luss on the banks of Loch Lomond, which started in February 1980 as an ITV daytime soap opera, and was dropped by most stations in the 1990s. Although Scottish Television, Grampian Television, Border Television and Ulster Television continued to screen the programme until the last episode, the programme has developed a cult following. History. Origins. ITV wished to have a Scottish soap for its daytime lineup. At the time the only soap made by STV was Glendarroch Way, which ITV companies in the rest of the United Kingdom had no interest in, as they wished to have a soap, in their words, with Scotch locks, hills and purple heather, a more tartan feel to the show. In late 1979, partly because of an ITV strike at the time, Glendarroch Way was axed and production started on a new soap. The original name for the fictitious estate and village was Glendarroch. This resulted in some debate over the name of the series. The Glendarroch factor was dropped as some viewers in other ITV markets may have found it difficult, resulting in the fictitious villages being renamed Glendarroch. High Road, Low Road also dropped, as it sounded like a takeaway shop. After much debate it was decided that the series would be called Take the High Road. Links to Glendarroch Way. Take the High Road was introduced as a replacement for Glendarroch Way, which contained very similar characters and actors to the original characters of Take the High Road. Some viewers were rather displeased about Glendarroch Way being axed. To help diffuse some of the anger, Todd the garage mechanic, played by Bill Henderson, would suffer a nervous breakdown, and would move north to set up business on his own to help resolve his alcohol problems. Because of shortage of time and the wish to keep most of the existing actors, it did not follow this plan. The appointed producer Clark Tate decided to have a scenario where Bill Henderson's character, Todd, had his name changed to Ken Calder, who happened to be a garage mechanic with a drink problem. Production and changes. Many of the early scripts were written by Michael Elder, who also made guest appearances in the show. Books by the same name as the show were also produced by him. Thought out most of the 1980s. The series only broadcast 40 weeks of the year, with a break usually from January to spring. During the course of its existence, Take the High Road went through a few major changes and facelifts. Perhaps the most noticeable was the renovation of Blair's store. Everything was kept behind the cashier's desk as was once common practice, and shortly after Brian Blair was released from prison it was transformed into a walk-around store. There were a few themes in Take the High Road, in line with Scottish culture, namely the idea of Elizabeth Cunningham, the rich lady laird who owned the village and neighbouring farms, and the theme of Protestant religion which was always present. Modernity was coming, and the way of thinking of the first lairds was completely different from that of the final ones. Around 1990, the series was revamped in a bid to attract a younger audience, which resulted in some outcry about the changes and a belief that new sets had taken away the authenticity of a Scottish village. But within 6 months the changes were hailed as a success and enabled stronger storylines, and the introduction of 5 new male characters. Toward the end of the show's life, it tackled much harder social issues, such as lesbianism and drug abuse, which were new to Scottish television, although not new to the ITV network. During its run, Take the High Road was always one of the highest-rated television programmes in Scotland, and had an extremely loyal following throughout the rest of the UK. Indeed, when the series was cancelled by the ITV network, so many protests were received from viewers in England that some ITV regions reinstated the programme. starting from the 22nd of July 1994. The series name was changed to just High Road, until it was cancelled in April 2003. Outcome: Take the High Road was the only soap for the ITV network which was not made by the Big Five companies. This helped to give Scotland a place on the network and also provide sufficient revenue to help STV to produce more programmes for ITV and Channel 4. Cast and characters. Broadcast series. Data for Scottish Television, which on occasions were ahead of the network daytime showing. Series 1. The 19th of February, the 28th of May 1980. 30 episodes. Series 2. The 14th of October, the 7th of January 1981. 24 episodes. Series 3. The 7th of April, the 2nd of July 1981. 26 episodes. Series 4. The 6th of October 1981 to 18 March 1982. 50 episodes. Series 5. The 24th of August, the 16th of December 1982. 30 episodes. Series 6. The 7th of August 1983 to 20 March 1984. 88 episodes. Series 7. The 4th of September 1984 December 1985. Series 8. The 14th of May 1985 to 3 October 1985. Series 9. The 18th of March 1986. From this point onward it became all year around. Regional scheduling. Take the High Road was broadcast by all ITV companies when it started in 1980. Nearly all regions broadcast Take the High Road during the daytime, except for Scottish Television, who broadcast the soap in the early evenings around 7:00 p.m. instead of Emmerdale. From 1984, Border Television. From 1988, Grampian Television moved the series to a peak time slot, dropped by the ITV network. During 1993, the new ITV Network Centre was reviewing all long-standing series made by ITV companies. The issues of the series being dropped becoming even more apparent as the regions south of the border were months behind in the transmissions in Scotland. On the 2nd of June 1993, Marcus Planton, ITV's network director, announced the termination of Take the High Road from September 1993. As ITV's statisticians believed English audiences have had enough, this resulted in public protest, as many believed that without ITV companies south of the border, the series had no chance. The issue was raised in Parliament under early day motions, and the Daily Record newspaper held a protest as well. By the end of June, Scottish Television decided to continue producing the series mainly for the Scottish market. But within a month, nearly all the ITV companies reinstated it after viewers complained about the show being dropped. In the first place, only two companies refused to reinstate the series: Tyne Tees Television and Yorkshire Television, although both finally brought the series back in 1996. By January 1998, all Granada and UNM-owned ITV companies had stopped broadcasting the series. The rest carried on with the series until Carlton Television until December 1998. Central and West Country until Friday the 24th of May 2002. Border Television, who completed the series in 2003. UTV, who completed the series in 2004. International. Take the High Road was broadcast in a number of countries around the world, including Canada, United States, New Zealand. In Australia, it was broadcast on ABC One. In Ireland, the series was broadcast during the daytime 5 days a week from the beginning on RTE1. As episodes caught up with the UK transmissions, the number of episodes broadcast per week was reduced. Repeats. Take the High Road was repeated on Sky Soap The episodes shown in early 1997 were From the Beginning, and 1989 episodes were being shown when the channel ended in April 1999. Early episodes from about 1994-95 were shown on Sky Scottish in 1997-98. Take the High Road was repeated briefly on Life 1 from February 2008. The channel started showing from episode 1000 from 1992. The channel ceased broadcasting 6 weeks later, after showing only 4 episodes. In the autumn of 2010, nearly every episode, except for 23, were added to YouTube by Scottish Television, making the series accessible to viewers across the world. The series was taken down from YouTube when the series repeated on STV Glasgow. From the 3rd of June 2014, a new TV station from STV, and on STV Edinburgh, since its launch in January 2015. Sponsorship. Take the High Road was sponsored by Brook Bond Scottish Blend Tea from the beginning of 1992 until 1995 and 1996. Mother's Pride also sponsored the series from August 1999 to September 2001 on Scottish and Grampian TV. The sponsorship credits revealed the adventures of one man and his dog, Doug, as they searched for the village of Glendarroch. Books. These books were all written by Michael Elder, except for Summer's Gloaming, which was written by Don Horton. Summer's Gloaming. November 1982. Danger in the Glen. January 1984. Mist on the Moorland. 1985. The Man from France. 1986. The Last of the Leads. May 1987. 10 Years of Take the High Road. 1990. Theme tune. There were 4 versions of the theme tune over the 23-year run. The first version was performed by Silly Wizard and was used until 1982. This version was quite Scottish folk band in style and pretty lively. Instruments featured included the accordion, banjo, drum kit, and synthesizer. The music for the closing credits featured a drum roll introduction. The Silly Wizard theme tune was replaced by an orchestral version in 1982. This orchestral version was used from 1982 until episode 336 in 1986. Instruments featured included the oboe, clarinet, violin, and drum kit. While this version was in use, the music for the break strings tended to vary from episode to episode, like the Silly Wizard version. The music for the closing credits also featured a drum roll introduction. The third version was a different orchestral arrangement and was used from episode 337 in 1986 until episode 727 at the beginning of 1990. This new orchestral version was more violin-led than the former, which had made more use of wind instruments, and featured no percussion. From episode 728 in 1990, the fourth, rock-style version made its debut and continued to be used until the end of the series. This version was electric guitar-led, played by session guitarist Duncan Finlay, and featured percussion during the middle section. From 1994, when the program name was shortened to High Road, the length of the closing credits was cut, so the closing theme was faded in just before the middle 8. The theme tune was written by composer Arthur Blake, who was STV's musical director at the time. Another version was released on record in 1980 and was also performed by Silly Wizard. DVD releases. Take the High Road, Episode 1 on STV Player. Take the High Road Show on YouTube. STV Player. Take the High Road at the Internet Movie Database.